What is it called when somebody's on Twitter while they're working?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Jersey Filmmaker. I'm Anthony Saratelli, and today I'm going to show you how I interviewed my 1-year-old niece. This video came about because I wanted to do something special for my niece's first birthday, and there was a special announcement to be made. I don't want to spoil it for you, so if you haven't seen the full interview, click here or in the link in the description below. So I want to go over how I interviewed a child that can't even speak yet. The interview goes on for about 5 minutes, and there's not 1 second where we're actually sitting across from each other. I did have a general script I was planning to go by, but I knew a lot of it would be based off of her actions that I would be able to capture on camera. So the night I went over to shoot, I finally got set to hit record about an hour before my niece's bedtime. That didn't go too well. My sister was there to assist while I made sure the cameras were rolling, and it seemed like Layla wouldn't stay in the seat for more than 5 seconds. We shot as much as we could, but with her being cranky, tired, and fussy, I didn't quite capture exactly what I was envisioning, so I decided to spend the night and shoot more with her in the morning when we woke up. I had her to myself this time, so I plopped her down in the chair and I said, "Layla, don't you move, listen to your uncle." Then I jumped behind the camera and let it roll for 25 minutes. No joke, she didn't move from the chair for 25 minutes because she loves her Uncle Anthony. I jotted down notes about some of the funny things she did during that long take so I could then record myself to compliment her actions, and abracadabra, I have a full-on interview. Since the match shots of us talking are just single shots and not over the shoulder or anything like that, they're as simple as they come. I just frame them accordingly and cut back and forth when needed. The shot I want to go over is the wide of us both in frame. Since we were never sitting there at the same time, I had to comp us together in post-production. Just a warning, I'm going to use some photos and videos I took on my phone, but I didn't take them with the intention to do a behind the scenes of this, so they're not great, but hopefully they get the point across. So the first thing you need to know is that the wide shot is on a tripod and will not move the whole time. I recorded both the wide and tight shots simultaneously so I could cut back and forth whenever I saw fit. So with the wide on the tripod, I record both of us separately, and then I take everything into Premiere to do the edit. So here's my full edit in Premiere, and if we zoom in here, we have 2 shots I've overlaid with me and Layla in the chair. I put the top one at a 50% opacity so I could see exactly what we were doing at the same time and line these up correctly. So what I'll do is select both of these layers, right-click, and replace with After Effects composition. Here I am in After Effects with both of my layers, myself and Layla. You'll notice I didn't have enough black sheet to cover the background, so I had to switch it back and forth when doing the shots. So with my layer on top, I'll draw the mask around pretty much to the edge of the black sheet. So when I apply this mask, you then have the 2 of us in the same shot. Obviously I came up short here and the boom mic is hanging in the shot, so we'll deal with that next. But first I'm going to add a layer here on the bottom left, which is just covering up whatever was going on behind there. I had something hanging out and I wanted to level off the edge of the background here so that they look the same. So I copied this side, flipped it around, pasted it in here with some feathering, and made it look all nice. So now what I'll do is I'll select all these layers and I'll pre-comp all the layers into a new scene. So now that I have this pre-comped, what I want to do is cut this background out so that everything will fall off to black. So what I do is draw a shape right along the edge of the chairs, bring it in as close to me as long as my hand doesn't cross it, and cover the boom, of course. So when I apply this mask, it cuts out this background. Now what I'll do is add a black solid, and I'll move that to the bottom, and voila, now it's all black. But you do see that the black is not the same black. I feathered it out a couple pixels, but I didn't want to feather it out too much because the feathering here would get a little ridiculous. So I leave it at 2 pixels, and what I'll do is drop a Lumetri color adjustment on here to bring down the blacks and the shadows a little bit, and voila. Look at the difference. The blacks blend in pretty much perfectly. Then I send this back over to Premiere, and we have our layer, and what I do have is one more color adjustment. For the final color, I just brought up the levels a little bit so that you can see us a little better, but the blacks all work. We have a full black background, we have us both in the scene, and great eye lines, and a perfect interview with a 1-year-old. Just a quick note, I don't always use Lumetri color to do my correction and grading. It really depends on the project. If it's something simple and I need a quick turnaround, ease of workflow, I'll do Lumetri right in Premiere. It's super simple and very, very awesome. But if it's something more like a short film or I have a high-end client that I really need to dive into color particulars, I'll take it over to Resolve and do my coloring there. So there you have it. That's how I comped together myself with my niece in the scene so that it looks like we're in an interview situation together. This is a fairly simple technique that you can use in many, many situations that I've used countless times. So now that you understand the concept, you can take it and get as creative as you want and make some fun stuff. So that's all for this episode. If you like it, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell to get alerts to all my future episodes. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below or contact me on my social medias @JerseyFilmmaker. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.